All right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Microgreen Thumbcast. Today we're just going to be talking about our businesses and what's going on with them in the world of the microgreen business and what we're doing. And then we're going to be doing a members Q&A. So if you're not a member yet, make sure you become a member for $2.99. It's basically going to be a free consulting up to the hour point whenever we get done talking or whenever you guys get done asking questions. So we'll go up to that hour point. So get your questions in. This is your opportunity with me and Andy here, people who've grown a great successful business, to get a free consult going on today. So you want to do that, jump in here and get that done. And so you can get all your questions answered. So we'll take first come, first answered, first put in, first answered. That's the order we'll go into since it's members only. So join the membership if you haven't yet. It's as low as $2.99. Andy, what's going on in your world today or this week?
It was a good week last week. We kind of did our soft launch, if you will, of Farm Flow, which was really nice to finally get that out there. There's a couple little features I want to still build into it before I really start pushing it out to the world, but at least it's up and running, and it's been bug free, at least in the bug section, for the last 4, 5, 6 days, whatever it's been now. So that was definitely a nice plus. So I definitely have some new feature requests that people have been putting in, so I appreciate that. It's definitely cool to see the ideas that you guys have, for sure. It'll definitely help make this thing better over time. So I appreciate it very much.
Definitely. Farm Flow has been good. This is our first kind of planting we've gone through on Friday with it. And this will be our first harvest that we've going to go through with it on tomorrow and see how it all works out and everything else. But so far, loving the program, adding in to-do checklist and more as we think about every day is, okay, what do we do today? Let's put that in a checklist that needs to be in a checklist and just have it there and everything else. So as little as taking out the trash, sweeping up the floor, in the bathroom, dumb stuff that you just, sometimes forget because you're busy. So putting that all in there and obviously putting it in when we got employees, we got one, but when we get more and more employees, it's going to be very, very helpful.
Yeah, we do the same. I mean, taking out the trash, checking inventory on everything, checking seed inventory. I mean, we constantly have different things that we do every day. And that's the beauty of the task list.
Yes.
Definitely comes in handy for sure.
And welcome, John Claus. Good to see you back here. All right. In our world, we're just we're kind of up in the air right now. Not up in the air, but we got distributors signed on all the paperwork over to them. Haven't heard anything back on an order yet from them. And we got the food banks that are coming in. They should be getting their funding hopefully this week, and then letting us know what they're going to want to order starting in December when the fundings are officially granted. And then we'll be going from there. So that's 3 to 4 huge accounts that we're going to have with that. And then we're doing a food purchasing program also for a school on the east side of our state, east side of Illinois here, that we're going to be doing lettuce for. And then we're figuring all that out. It's going to be a trial run to see how it goes. And then hopefully they continue to purchase and everything else. And we can just drop that off at a location we're already going to. So it's going to be really, really nice on that. So, and I think the first run, they're going to be doing probably 400 or 500 pounds of lettuce. So that will be exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. We also got our approval from the county we're trying to move into. So now we can at least do what we want to do in our new space that we're trying to get into. And now I can actually apply for the building permit finally, only almost 2 months later. So yeah, the county we're moving into is not enjoyable. So when you're setting up your commercial space, kind of get some of that inside information if you can. When you get to that point, guys, definitely look into it because it can be a total nightmare getting started. And we're definitely experiencing that now. I actually thought originally that I was going to be moving out of this space that we're in right now on November 1st. And we haven't even applied for the building permit yet. So thank God I'm still here until March. Gives me plenty of time to get it all done. But yeah, what a nightmare. What a nightmare.
Yeah. Gotta love the government, right?
Yeah. They love to get all their little pieces of everything, unfortunately.
Yes. Yes, they do. We were very fortunate when we moved in. We didn't have to get any permits or anything else. Everything was move-in ready, which is not typical. As Andy probably knows, that this is the second location you're moving into. So I know you had to do a lot of work on that place that you're in now because I watched all of it. You posted on Facebook a few years ago. And I was like, I want to be that. I want to be in that space. And then I found out how much retail takes and doing, and I'm like, maybe not exactly like that.
Yeah.
Skip the retail.
It definitely was. It was fun for the time being. I mean, it definitely got us some good recognition. We definitely got some good clients that walked through the front door. Yeah, but ultimately it wasn't really that big of a deal. I mean, the goal here was to grow the farm and push the store out, and that's where we got to, thankfully. faster than I thought we would. So that's why we're struggling to get out of here at this point because we're pretty cramped at the moment, but we're getting there. So it's definitely a good thing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to finally getting some progress made on the new space. That'll definitely be nice to get that moving a little bit faster. So yeah, guys, again, this is open question, open forum. So feel free to post your questions in the comments. That's what we're here for tonight. Just, I mean, you can ask about anything. It doesn't have to be anything specific. We're going to have a topic this evening, so just come up with whatever you want to ask, and we'll be happy to answer. It's just one big free consultation for you guys for the whole evening.
If you're a member that's on here, if you want to come on live, comment, add me live, something along that lines, and we will send you a private message and get you to come on here live, and you can just take up 15, 20 minutes of consulting and ask your questions away. So, John Claus, I know you're in here, so you always have a lot of questions. If you want to come on and ask them, feel free to let me know, and Jess will send you over something and get you set up in the back end there.
But he never has questions.
Never. He's just so quiet and just hangs out. No, we love that John Claus asks questions. We love it.
Oh, yeah. No, we definitely appreciate it, man.
John Claus says, haven't launched yet, been talking a lot, and chef/owner of a restaurant group, friend of my sister, is already asking me how fast I can get up and running. They definitely need lots of cilantro.
Awesome.
Ooh, awesome. Boy.
You'll be Robert.
I wouldn't recommend it as a starter. That's a tough one to grow.
Can be. Can definitely be. Yeah. Can definitely be a tough one. But I know Robert grows a lot of it. We grow only like 3 or 4 trays, and we get pretty good. There's every once in a while we'll have a bad spot on a tray. But covering it with that vermiculite helps out tremendously. But yeah, I would if you haven't grown anything yet, maybe grow a broccoli or 2 before you go to cilantro. That would be a suggestion. Yeah. Get comfortable with growing, and then go from there.
Yeah, do some peas, do some radish, do some easy things, and then work your way up to that. Cilantro is very water sensitive. Yes. That's what makes it tough to grow. Very, very hard to keep it from dampening off.
Kind of like Amaranth, huh?
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately.
All too well know that. All too well.
Yeah, jeez. Yep, still the one we plant the most of every single week, unfortunately.
Yeah. He says, I only have a few.
So Tanner.
When are you guys putting up a new cilantro video? We do need to do that, actually.
I'm working on that. I'm working on that. I probably will be filming the harvesting tomorrow when we do that. So tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow we'll be filming the harvesting. 99% of the time I intend on doing the more how to grows, and I just forget to set up the camera. And then we're halfway through the tray and like the last tray, and you're like, oh, I was going to film that today. So I made it like in my mindset that we're doing that tomorrow. We're filming a lot of the harvesting parts of a lot of the videos we don't have done yet. So hopefully in another week or 2, we'll have a lot of them videos start rolling out. Soon, John, soon.
Yeah.
John says, I've done peas, sunflowers, radish, and broccoli so far. Okay, good. The peas just grow themselves. Yeah,
pretty much.
Yes, they do. That's one of the easiest ones.
Yeah, you get good seeds and you have a good soil base. Peas might grow just in the tray by themselves. It might take longer, but they'll grow eventually.
Yeah.
I just ordered more seeds from Bagel. What varieties from Greener Harvest have y'all tried so far?
Me personally, we've done broccoli, beets,
red
cabbage,
sunflower,
obviously, yeah. That's our main thing.
We've done the arugula, their amaranth, the peas. I'm trying to think of what else. I feel like there's 1 or 2 more I'm not thinking of, but yeah, we've definitely done a few. I mean, we always have so much seeds, so we're literally waiting for stuff to run out before we can move on to the other ones. So I mean, yeah, I have some of the sunflower, but it's gonna be a while before we use it because we got a ton of stuff that I already had previously. That's what we go through a lot of, so definitely have to keep a lot in stock.
Yeah, and in hindsight, also the broccoli we've got a 1 pound bag that we trialed to make sure it worked for us. I still got another 25 pounds that I got to get through from True Leaf before I'm going to order, which can probably be just a few weeks once we start because we grow a ton of broccoli. So with the grocery store. So it'll just probably be a few weeks, and we'll probably
that'd
be
be a nice
ordering.
thing.
And I will know when I need to order when Farm Flow tells me, "Hey, order, dummy."
That's
Make sure
it.
you're under 12 weeks. So that's all in there. We did inventory the other day with all our seeds and everything else put in there. Some say NA just because we're not growing very much of them. So it doesn't probably know how to calculate that far out or something. So we just know we got a ton of them seeds. But yeah, it's very nice when you sit there and you go, okay, I feel a lot more comfortable. I know I have 26 weeks, 32 weeks of seeds left. You know, you feel a lot more comfortable with that in there. So that's a great feature.
For sure. John Claus says, how did you like the red cabbage? It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It grew really comparable to our True Leaf. And I think we've had some from Mums in the past too. It was all very comparable.
Good color still in it, everything
great.
else. So yeah, looked great.
And got some cilantro too to mess with.
Just quick tip on you, John. We went away from soaking it. Used to soak it for 12 hours. There's no need to soak cilantro if you got the split seeds. And just sow them in there, cover them with vermiculite, and germinate them for 7 days. It's the quick tips I can give you in the beginning here.
Yeah. Let's see. Any other member questions?
I don't think so. I don't see any other ones. Thomas has got a few though. Thomas.
Hey, Thomas is here. All right. He's got wet hands. Let's see. I finally had success with cilantro when I sanitized the seeds. Sucked working with wet seeds when making trays, but no rot or spotty germination. Good. Yeah, sometimes you have to improvise. And where were your seeds from, Thomas?
So we haven't had to sanitize any of our cilantro seeds at all, and haven't any issues with them. So, but if you are, that's a great way to go.
For sure. He also asked, do you treat the split cilantro seeds with hydrogen peroxide or something else? Seems to be my issue with both True Leaf and Todd's. Oh.
No, I think a lot of that you could probably solve also with covering with the fine vermiculite on top. Would probably solve a lot of them problems as well. Would you think that, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely help with the seed hulling as well to get the seeds to come off, go run through that. So yeah, there's two advantages with that. I mean, it's going to help you, with your mold issues if you have any of that, and it'll definitely help get those seeds off even better. Definitely go with split seed. If you're out there looking to get into cilantro, don't be an idiot like me and buy a giant bag of non-split seed cilantro and hate your life for the next 8 months as you burn through it.
Learn from our experience.
Split seed. Yeah. Buy from Josh. It's so much easier. So much easier.
Yeah.
So he's having a yellow rot when he doesn't sanitize both the Todd's and the True Leaf. So that could go beyond even the seeds and go more towards even the soil source or something to that extent. Right,
yeah.
guys?
I also would, if you're having
wetting them.
Yeah. How long are you soaking them?
Are you wetting them like? Sorry.
Andy, go ahead.
No, I was just curious. Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing. How long are you soaking, and are you just like oversaturating the soil? Maybe that's causing that, because it's definitely something where the process is just too moist. Where it is either in the seed or in the dirt. I'm guessing that'll lead to that kind of thing. So let us know, Thomas. Which he has such a cool logo, by the way. I don't know if you've seen his. I think it's the Microgreen Kitchen is the name of his business. It's a really cool logo.
Yep, I've seen that one. Yep. That is a cool logo. I like that.
All right.
And if you guys haven't yet, make sure you like this video. I know we're just kind of hanging out and answering questions and everything else, but this helped get more out to more people so we can answer more questions for them. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel.
All right. John Claus says, good to know, cover with vermiculite or with your medium.
I would recommend vermiculite. I've always had issues with covering with medium.
Yeah, I mean, I take it from somebody who used to do medium and switched to vermiculite based on Mike's recommendation. It's the medium. It's going to have a lot more problems breaking apart as the actual plants are growing through it. So you'll end up with kind of more of like a roof, if you will, of just stuck together medium, where the vermiculite is super, super tiny, tiny, tiny. So it goes right through, no problem. It's also a little more coarse, so it kind of helps, pull off those seed hulls again. So yeah, it's definitely the way to go. And I know Mike recommended the burpees fine vermiculite. We've been using that ever since. Stuff's awesome.
I think Justice put a link in the
Yep,
chat
there
for
you go.
that. So
Yes, I did.
Go grab some of that. It's really nice. It's a small bag, but it'll do. I mean, we get, I think, about 15 trays out of each bag, roughly, something like that.
It only takes about a cup or so of vermiculite to cover
Yeah.
thoroughly. You don't need to put a thick layer on. So
yeah, I wish they came in bigger bags, but we've got to find the fine vermiculite from the burpees, the one that we like, in a bigger bag. So
Yeah.
you just got to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, you can find like deals on Amazon where you can get 5 bags at a time or something like that. But unfortunately, they're all individuals, which is annoying. But it's
Easier to
super
work
fine
with.
though. So if you dump it, it's going everywhere.
Yes. And if you don't have a
Ask me
little
how
rope,
I know.
clean it up.
it's like glitter too.
So-
It sticks.
So you dropped one, huh?
Not, but like I've dumped a little bit on a table, and it's like, oh man. Yeah,
A little bit
thankfully
of
I haven't
wind.
dropped a bag yet. Yeah, it doesn't take much. It's so tiny.
Nice.
Looks like little amaranth seed, honestly.
Yeah. A little bit.
All right. So Thomas says he tries to limit the water and covered with dry soil. So yeah, that could be the issue, is not using like a vermiculite or something. It could be the soil issue.
Yeah, just what Andy said. That whole
Yeah.
description there explained perfectly what medium versus vermiculite there. So clip that out, guys. That's a great tip right there.
How long are you soaking your seed for, Thomas? Out of curiosity. So I hope it's not super long.
Yeah.
Especially if it's split. I mean, 'cause obviously the
would-
water can get right inside.
I recommend 0 soaking. We've had great success with no soaking. And that was
Yeah,
from Robert.
that's
Robert giving me that tip. So I used his tip on that because I learn from people all the time still.
Yeah, I definitely have used Robert's technique for the few times we've grown cilantro. It's something we eventually want to get into, but not here. We don't have the room for it yet.
Yeah.
I already have the demand for it through one of the distributors we work with, so it's just a matter of getting it done.
Right. Thomas says I usually do not soak, and that's when I get the rot.
Wow.
The first time
That's
I soaked and
interesting.
sanitized first, and I had a perfect tray. Interesting.
Huh. That's very interesting. That's a total opposite of what it should be.
Unless you're really heavy watering it in when you're planting. That's the only other thing I could think of, like very heavy watering. And then that if you're putting the medium over top and then it's holding in that moisture really bad, and that's going to give you some rot, depending on how thick you're putting that medium on. Or just switch to vermiculite and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Because it could be dependent on your medium too. I mean, if you're topping it with something that is really water retention friendly, then that could certainly be an issue as well. Because like you said, it's just like you're putting a blanket down on top, whether it's dry soil or not.
Yeah.
It's going to absorb into that, and you're just going to have this blanket of wet soil sitting on top. Yeah, I mean, if you soak and sanitize at a perfect tray, that may be the best route for you.
Yeah, that works.
Obviously, do what works for your environment.
We can only give you guidelines. Then you got to figure out what's going to work in your environment.
Yep. That's it.
Right. Let's see. Would you use Coir maybe? Neither.
You would have to ask Joe. If Joe was on, Joe would say yes. But you definitely, I recommend Coco Loco or ProMix HP or something like that for you. Coco just takes too much work to deal with, for my opinion. Joe does great with it. So, but I don't know, Andy, what you got?
Yep, I would agree 100%. Coco Loco we've been using for a long time. We started with Coco Coir, and it got very tiresome breaking the blocks apart and doing all that fun stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's cheap. It's definitely cheaper than dirt for sure. But between mixing the nutrients, applying the nutrients, and breaking the soil apart, it just wasn't really that much of a savings. Because the time you're spending is kind of canceling out what you're actually saving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Time is money as well.
Yep.
John Claus says, I got some mustard, red acre cabbage, daikon, red lentil, and some wheatgrass. That's a good list.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice colors.
And we planted wheatgrass this week, right?
Yeah.
This week from Josh's. And so far it's looking amazing. That reminds me I need to get it out of germination.
Yeah.
Oops.
But I've actually been debating trying that red lentil because it looks really cool. It could be a potential substitute for bull's blood or amaranth. A little
Yeah.
thicker stem though, but it's got the same kind of coloration.
I don't know if you've seen, we're growing yellow beets now.
Yes.
Yeah, I did see
That
that.
in there,
It's pretty
so-
cool.
And they're growing beautiful. They look beautiful so far.
Nice.
Thomas
Funny
wanted to
because
say,
if my
oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was
Nate.
gonna say if my rack was like another 2 inches that way, it would almost look like we were in the same room here.
Yes. Just lined up
Just reach over
perfectly.
and grab you.
It's funny.
Thomas just wanted to say thank you on the logo. I use ProMix HP and will go even less water when planting, but definitely covered with bone dry mix. Now that HP is a high porosity blend, so it does drain more quickly. So they might be drying out during germination.
Yeah, could be.
And the vermiculite would help hold in that moisture for you if that's the problem as well.
Thomas says, finally bought the deep trays and blackout domes from Greenhouse Megastore, but man, do deep trays eat soil up. Likely only use
Yes,
them
they
for the
do.
basil and cilantro, but the blackout domes are a lifesaver for amaranth. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, the deep trays are expensive, but they grow beets beautifully. Basil grows beautiful in it too. We've actually are
Yeah.
using the deep tray for basil, but we're using the shallow tray for our basil micro. We're using the deep tray for basil full size, and we're germinating in them, and then we pull them out and transplant them. So you get a lot more space, a lot more basil in a smaller space for germination.
Yeah.
Because we're doing full size basil now as well. So just a tip, if you want to do full size basil, you can start them out that way. Just seed them. We seed them at 4 grams instead of 6 grams. So they just have a little bit more room to breathe and grow fat taller. I know that's not micro related, but it's plant related. So
Right. John Claus wants to know, what seeding rate have you been using for the tiny seed sunflowers?
ounce wise, we're doing 4. Now that we're planting in grams, I don't know off the top of my head because Farm Flow's got me in grams now. But I will check.
You don't have to be.
I know, but I'm going to it. Yeah. I said it got me. I didn't say it made me.
We actually used to plant in grams, but when we switched to seed leaf, you had to choose like the same. If you harvested in grams, you would have to seed in grams, and if you harvested in ounces, which is what we do, we had to convert over to ounces for our seeding because you couldn't do both within seed leaf. So we had switched everything over to ounces. So now we can do both now. So we're switching back over to grams for planting and ounces for harvesting.
Isn't that nice?
Yes.
Isn't that nice having that feature?
Yes.
So it's about 112 grams, I think, or so. So
112.
I don't know what it is on Farm Flow. I got too much stuff going on my phone, so I can't get to it. But
I tried 170 grams, and boy, it seemed crowded. It's like,
I bet it did. Holy cow. Yeah, that's a lot of seed.
I'm going to do the same.
A lot of seed.
Yeah, we did a trial at 5 ounces,
yeah.
And they seemed overcrowded at that. There was a lot of like old maids and things that just weren't germinating because they didn't have enough soil contact. With the tiny seeds, they spread so much better that you really don't need as much.
Yep. Agree.
All right. Justin, I have never seen a Justin.
Hello,
today.
Justin.
Hello. Ever thought of using a cement mixer for mixing soils, etc.?
I've seen somebody use that. I know somebody that's not too far from us that uses a concrete mixer, obviously a brand new one, and does it, throws their soil in there to break it up. So it can be done, and probably does well for that. Probably breaks it up amazingly. But cement mixers are not cheap.
Yeah. It's the one downside.
Yeah.
And if you buy a soil mix that's already got everything you need in it, then you don't have to worry about mixing it.
Get you some Coco Loco and just throw the bags around a little bit. Get you a workout in there. You're good to go.
Speaking of Coco Loco, Thomas wanted to know, is $28 unreasonable for a 2 cubic foot bag of Coco Loco for retail?
If you're buying 1 bag or like less than 10 bags, that's probably going to be roughly about what it would be. I mean, we get it by the pallet, and we still pay $23 a bag. And I know Mike's getting it cheaper, but he's getting it right from a distributor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting it cheaper by a lot,
Yeah.
by about $5 a bag.
It's about
So, yeah.
right around $17 a bag, but yeah, it's not quite $5, but yeah.
Yeah. But if you're buying it on Amazon or something, I mean, you're paying almost 40, if not 40 a bag.
Yeah.
So it's still going to be a lot cheaper buying it locally than buying it online for sure. But yeah, I'd say for smaller quantities, that's probably roughly about where you're going to be, like 26 to 28 per bag.
But if you're going to buy more and you're going to that same shop, wherever you're buying it from, if you're getting it from your local garden center, pot shops, whatever you're getting it from, ask them if they give you a discount if you buy in bulk, where that's at. Don't be afraid to ask, because most of the time they will do that.
And sometimes they'll do that as little as 10 bags.
Yeah.
So you could buy 10 bags and you'd be good for a while,
Yeah.
Potentially. So yeah, don't hesitate to ask, especially if you get a good relationship with the guy who's like the manager or the owner, then they'll definitely hook you up, knowing that you're going to be on a regular basis.
10 bags would only get me, not even a week.
Yeah.
But I'm sure not everybody's at that level. So, I mean, it probably lasts you a few weeks. So
For sure. John Claus wants to know, watering question. Can you still be top over watering your trays initially and still not have water dripping through the bottom holes? Still wondering how wet is perfect.
Yeah, you don't ever want water dripping through the bottom holes.
Especially
if you're top watering, that is oversaturating the soil. 100%. Yeah,
now
it's just a mist on the top is about all you're going to ever need.
With Pro Mix, it's so hydrophobic sometimes it does just, instead of actually absorbing it, it'll just run through to the bottom holes. But with Coco Loco, definitely don't want that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, as soon as it goes under light, you should be bottom watering anyway, unless you're. Yeah, I mean, you can do it with sunflower for maybe a day or two if your goal is to try and get the holes to come off a little easier in the long run. But other than that, there's no real reason to.
The thing we're experimenting with sunflowers right now, we did 1 week so far, is we're putting clear dome over them for the first 3 days under lights. And they stretch a little bit better, and more seed hulls seem like they come off even. So, and you don't have to miss the top or anything like that, because you're getting that moisture already there. So yeah.
It's a 6-inch dome though. It's
6-inch dome. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. John Claus says, detective troubleshooting work only happened to the sunflowers, but one end started falling over while the rest was okay.
Yep.
Thinking shelves aren't level. That's usually number one. Something to think about checking. Yep.
And it could also be your watering technique too. If you're lifting up the tray and you're spraying and spraying, and then you're dropping the tray back down, and it doesn't have a chance to kind of settle in the bottom, it'll get stuck all up to one side and it won't actually work its way all the way forward. So I'm not sure what your situation is exactly, but just keep an eye out for something like that too. I mean, ideally, you should have water across the whole bottom of the tray when you're done watering, at least a little bit.
Yeah, don't be too quick to put the tray
for most. Not Amaranth, not Cilantro, not.
You shouldn't have any water down there.
Yeah, no. Oh man.
Not arugula.
If you do, they just. Yeah, exactly. All the ones that hate being alive.
Yeah.
Unless you put them in the garden on accident, at which point they thrive.
Yeah.
Or in the front
yard. Exactly. Yeah, or if you throw like a tray in the trash, and the next thing you know, they're growing out the top without anything. It's like, come on, really?
Yep.
They keep you alive the easy way, but grow the hard way.
Oh, you don't want me? I'm going to grow now.
Yeah, exactly.
Thomas says, hydroponic shop. Thank you. They said $1 off each if I get 5 at a time, but I'm trying Sunshine number 4 mixed with Coir and water and with a triple 20 NKP very light. So far, awesome results. That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it does.
We tried the Sunshine Mix number 4 and didn't like it. We did a trial with it. We grew like 6 trays, and I threw the rest of the bell away because it just wasn't good to me.
Yeah.
But if you're having good results by doing that, awesome. Good.
Yeah. If you're willing to put the work in, man, go for it. That's working for you.
John Claus says, got to do a little sloshy.
Yeah, if you got water dripping through the bottom of the tray, top water, you're definitely doing some sloshy. You shouldn't be able to just dump the entire tray into a pitcher or something like that. It shouldn't be that wet ever.
If you do that, usually, only time I found that is when you accidentally had a solid tray inside of a solid tray. And then you water and you come back later and there's still water in there. You're like, what's going on? Oh, That's a solid tray. It's hard to soak water up.
When we finally got to check off that box the other day, we had 2 hold trays and didn't realize it because my tray person had put away our trays and mixed a hold black one in with a regular black one. So I went to pick the tray up off the table and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Why is there little dots of soil there? I was like, oh, no. It finally
At least you
happened.
found out before you bottom watered.
Yeah. We still have yet to do 2 solid trays. So knock on wood. Hopefully that won't happen anytime soon. But that was the first time we did 2 hold trays.
I've done it twice, 2 solid trays, back to back. I've done it twice where I had to flip them. So I put another tray on top and I flipped them over and put another one in there. It worked 99%, got in there. So we were good and saved it. But yeah, it was a challenge.
Yeah.
Jennifer Filko's on tonight. And I know Jennifer mentioned she actually messaged me tonight. So some of our listeners are having some trouble finding us. And I actually have had some trouble finding the Q&A on another account as well. So I sent her the link and hopefully I have that fixed. I refreshed the feed. So hopefully we might see some more people hopping on. But she says, I started looking into sheds with a workbench. I may look into get in the grow room out of my basement. Thoughts?
Depends on how easy it is to climate control that shed.
Yeah.
That's going to be your one biggest challenge getting out of the inside of a house or inside of a building. Is going to be doing the climate control, because if you have a shed that's got insulation and it's got HVAC and some kind of heat source in there, then you might be okay. But one thing to think about too is plumbing. Obviously you need water out there. You need somewhere to drain a dehumidifier. So there's definitely some potential things that you could run into trying to do all those things. Just some things to think about. And electric. Obviously, you're going to have electric, and you're going to have a decent amount of it. So yeah, moving out of your house it's probably going to be harder than you think.
Yes.
All right. John Claus says, yeah, this one was harder to find. Not where it usually is. And I found it by clicking on the podcast playlist. It wasn't under live. That is so strange.
That is weird.
To make sure, but interesting. So I might hop on, Andy. I might hop on your group and post the direct link.
Okay. Yeah, that's not streaming to there, unfortunately. I forgot to start that.
That's
2
all
weeks
right.
in a row I failed at that.
Oh, no. That's all right. I will share the
But at
link.
least we can see everybody. Nobody shows up as Facebook user.
Yeah.
Good point. All right. Isaac says, every time I open my compost bin, I see a ton of new growth. Yes.
Yep. Yeah. We were cleaning out the drain in our sink, the one behind me here. It's got this white drain line goes all the way across all 3. And we were kind of cleaning some stuff out of there. We found a sunflower that was probably about 6 inches tall that was coming out of the bottom of the drain.
Oh, wow.
You never know, man. It's amazing how they can grow in the weirdest places.
But not in the tray.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Growing actually in soil in ideal conditions is what they hate the most.
Right. Thomas says, going to listen now and put the phone up. I have to hang the door on my new grow room. Yay! Just got finished insulating it. Finally moving out of my 8-foot grow tent. That's
Congratulations.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's going to be so much nicer. So much nicer.
Uh-oh. Yep.
Looks all like because of that logo.
Struggling a little bit finding it too. I'm glad you guys were able to find it still. I'm going to continue working on that to make sure.
Weird.
Well, I guess we're glad we didn't do anything very important.
Right? Just doing Q&A. Right?
You two throttle on me? I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. I swear.
Well, you did mention about the government earlier.
I did. Oh, no. Before we went live. Yep.
Oh, minimize him.
Got to be careful these days.
Oh, I know.
I noticed Josh has been Josh/Bagel Finagle has been a lot on Instagram lately since he's been throttled on TikTok. So make sure you check him out over there. And check out my Instagram too, guys. If you haven't checked that out, it's Microgreen Business Coaching over on Instagram. Posting a lot of helpful tips over there and everything else. So, and doing some discount codes over there only on Instagram. So check that out.
Yep.
All right.
All right. I guess.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be great.
While Jess is doing that, I guess I will read this question from John Claus. Found out I want to use my garage for growing our processing. It requires a sink and completely sealing it off and adding a separate outside entrance. Can't go through the house door. Yeah, if you can do that, definitely, definitely an outside door to your garage would be helpful. We ran plumbing and everything in there. We were lucky in our garage. We had a bathroom that was right here. This is the garage bathroom was right here, and we just ran plumbing right out of that bathroom for sinks and everything. And we just did that ourselves, obviously being in our house. So that was good. That was easy. And we had an outside door to it. So definitely there were two things you want to do. If you got a 3-car garage or a 2-car garage, you can make one of them doors into a door. Just seal it off and make it a door would be beneficial as well. Andy, got anything on that?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a lot of people's next step. Essentially, they'll start in some kind of a room in their house, and then if they don't have a use for their garage, then they typically will go that route. So just make sure your garage doors are insulated. Sometimes they're not. If they're not, just either add some kind of insulation to there, because you will lose a lot of heat and cooling through the actual just metal door. Honestly, your walls themselves may not be insulated either. So just keep an eye out for that kind of thing. Otherwise, you're going to be spending a lot on heating and air conditioning that place, especially down in Texas. You're going to spend a fortune on air conditioning that place.
Yes. If you got doors that aren't completely sealed off, if you want to go a cheap route until you can afford it, the Panda film, it's got white side, black side. That stuff is thick. You use it to gardens for killing off crops and stuff. Just put that up over it, seal it up off of there. The doors that are leaking maybe or whatever. That's what we did. We did the 2-car garage part of the 3-car garage, and we put Pelma film up on the one side where it was just the 1-car garage we didn't use that we could still use for a car. We put that up, and baby, that sealed that off, and you could just feel the difference of airflow and everything else when you sealed that off. So I do recommend that stuff is very nice.
Yeah, it's pretty inexpensive too. You can get a pretty large roll for pretty cheap.
Yeah, I don't remember what we spent, but it was like $100 or something for like 150-foot roll of it. So
yeah. And it literally is called Panda film.
Yep. We got ours from we got company in Kentucky, Tennessee. I don't remember. It's a farming company. You just look it up, Panda film. You'll find it.
I've seen rolls on Amazon. I've seen rolls on Home Depot's website, Lowe's website. You can get just about anywhere online. Whether they carry it in the stores or not, you can just still have it shipped to your house. Yeah, it's pretty inexpensive. I was surprised.
Yeah. Yep, that's how we got water over there. We've already talked about that. John Claus, yep. The ceiling is insulated above the garage. We're not sure about the walls. Going to have to take some work. A little bit. Luckily, it's in a garage and won't take you too long to get that. You don't have too many walls or electrical or plumbings and stuff like that, besides what you run, hopefully, to worry about. So.
Yeah, you could always do spray foam. It's not going to be the cheapest option, but it'll be the least invasive option into your actual walls if you already have drywall inside your garage, which I'm assuming you do.
Yeah.
Spray foam is a great option for that. It's not cheap, though, unfortunately.
Insulation is not cheap anyway you go, really. I mean,
that's very true.
Lined my grow space in Panda. There you go. Already got it. You're ready to go.
Love it.
Well, it's unfortunate that people have not been able to find us today, so that's why we have a low turnout. But yeah, definitely here to answer some more questions if you guys got them. Remember, if you're not on FarmFlow yet, if you're in FarmFlow, mark a 1 in the chat. If you're not on FarmFlow, mark a 2, and then we can say bad things about you. Not really. I'm just kidding. Nothing bad about you. We'll just convince you to go over there. So make sure you go over
your stream is listed as unlisted.
Jess?
Somebody just said.
Yeah, I'm working on that because I can't figure out why it's doing that.
Okay.
Troubleshooting.
All right. John Claus is. Mark is. Welcome, Mark. Nice to see you. Anybody else want to say? I guess the rest of you are not on FarmFlow. The ones that didn't put anything, make sure you definitely get over to FarmFlow. Such a great program. It definitely is. We're going to be running our business now. We're completely over on it. Running this whole week on it. So we'll see how it works out. When we go to pack everything off of our invoices, because that's how we'll pack this week is off our invoices. and we'll see how it matches up and everything else. And so hopefully I don't have to go back and make anything for packing Tuesday morning. So
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. And if it is something, it's probably me not entering something correctly. So with the transfer over. So that's probably the only reason why I would think that would be.
Yep. Yeah, we've been using it for 3.5 years, and obviously this is our application. We've been using it. We're using the same thing that you guys are, so it has to work for us, or it isn't going to work for anyone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and ours is way more complicated.
I'm sure.
We have a pretty insane planting schedule and an insane harvesting schedule every week, so it's definitely a little bit of a mess. But yeah, I just got the notification on YouTube, so it looks like you guys are good now.
Yeah.
Fixed. That was a really weird place to find the setting. It was not in the normal area at all. So that was super strange. But yeah, no idea why it would have gone unlisted.
Why would it go unlisted? Yeah.
No idea.
Weird.
It is really strange.
But it's fixed.
It's fixed. Got
Hey,
it.
y'all.
There you go. You guys are all going to have a great chance of winning today.
Right?
Yeah, right?
Not to be on. So
It's a good day to come in.
I think in the future, probably not today, but we're going to give some stuff away on. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to probably give some memberships away to Thumbcasts, right, Andy, down the road here.
Farm Flow.
Farm Flow.
Yeah,
On
Farm
Thumbcast?
Flow. Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Yep,
reading
probably do
Thumbcasts.
some 3-month and 6-month, and we'll figure some things out. But yeah, it would be cool to give away some free stuff to be able to get in there. But obviously, you can get in there right now for 30 days for free anyway. We have a 30-day free trial. You can go in and test it out. If you hate it, just don't pick a billing plan. It'll eventually shut you off after 14 days after that point. So, go in there and play with it. This way you can do what you have to do, see how it works. Obviously go, check out the live demo that we did a couple weeks back. It's all posted all over the place. So if you can't find it, let me know, and I can certainly send that URL to you. But yeah, just go to that URL that Jess posted earlier, just literally freshsourcefarms.com/farmflow. Got all the information you want to know about the actual application. There's links all over the place to sign up. You can join our actual Farm Flow Facebook group from there as well. So that's where I post all the updates, any new features, things like that. It's nothing crazy. It's not a microgreen support group. It's just literally pushing information out there to where I don't have to be intrusive and post it to my group and say, hey guys, all this new stuff's in Farm Flow, and half of you don't care, if you're not using it. So definitely want more people in there. The more the better, because it's going to make the community aspect of it's going to be a lot more diverse. Which would be really nice. So the more people are in there, the more information we'll actually have to be able to all share together over time as I build that piece into it. But yeah, it's awesome. So definitely just go give it a try. It definitely be worth your time, I promise.
Yes, definitely. Welcome everybody that's finally getting push notifications coming into the stream. We do have about 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever we decide to do today to go. And Joe, the whole session has been Q&A tonight. We were just kind of answering everybody's questions, talking about Farm Flow and the businesses and where we're at and our businesses and everything else. So kind of a laid back Thumbcast, which apparently is pretty good since the last 40 minutes. Nobody got notifications that we were here. So our bad, because this is supposed to be a Q&A for everybody. So we didn't get everybody on here. So yeah, you're here in time. Ask away questions.
Yep, that's it.
All right, Jess, you ready to get back into?
I am. All right. So, question for Andy from Mario. Can we foreigners pay with the cards for Farm Flow?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to send you, it's all done through Square automatically. It'll send you an invoice on whatever, I guess it'd be December 1st for you. And then once you pay it, credit card saved to the system. You don't have to touch it ever again. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, it'll send you an invoice. You can pay it however Square allows.
Perfect. All right. Justin Dawson, since I'm a beginner, can you describe proper first rack setup, lights, trays, grow medium, etc.?
Yeah, I'll go very basic. Basically get a rack that is 4 feet long, so you can fit 4 trays along the rack. At least 5 shelves, so you can fit at least 20 trays. You can go 6 and put the lights closer and all that stuff, but that's more advanced. Get in that later. So at least 20 trays on there, 5 racks. You can go an 18-inch deep, or you can go a 24-inch deep rack. 24-inch, they're going to sit completely on there, like Andy has, right? 24-inch racks.
Yep.
I have 18. They set on the bars. Either one works. It's personal preference. 1 to 2 lights, no more than that. If you're running a T8, do 1 light. You're running T5s, do 2 lights. Anything I'm forgetting, Andy?
Yeah, so if you're running the two T5s, you can get away with having the bottom of this shelf and the top of this shelf be about 8 inches apart. And then spread your T5s, evenly so that way they're casting light, through the middle and through the outer edges. And if you're running a T8, what do you guys have yours at? Like 10-ish inches apart, one single
And,
light down the
yep.
middle. Yeah, so
Yeah.
10 to 12 inches should be fine. Joe, who's on here now, he did a really great video on lighting on YouTube that kind of explains all that in heavy, heavy scientific detail. But yeah, definitely that's going to be your best bet. We tend to run actually six because we use two T5s, so we only have 8 inches between our two shelves, and we run six grow shelves with a seventh shelf on the very top. So we just keep supplies and stuff up there, and then we have six shelves that come down that are all 8 inches apart. And then underneath, we could put a seventh one if we wanted to, but we actually keep space below it to be able to put like totes and bins and stuff underneath to just store seed and dirt and whatever. But yeah, I mean trays, it's definitely a buy once, cry once with Bootstrap Farmer. Can't recommend them enough. I've had their trays for 3.5 years. I've thrown away one, and I only threw it away because I'm the one that actually stepped on it by accident, broke it. So their stuff is amazing. I can't recommend them enough. Grow medium. If you can find Fox Farms Coco Loco locally, that's going to be your best bet. That's what we've been using for a while. I turned Mike onto it. I've turned Robert onto it. I've turned so many people onto it. It's a phenomenal soil. It doesn't need any additional nutrients. You can grow almost anything in it for weeks and weeks if you have to. So yeah, you should be in good shape there. But the Barina T5s are really good lights if you can afford the pinkish grow lights, not the real pink ones, but the pinkish as they call it. Those are great. They're actually better than the traditional T5s. They grow the colors a little bit better. But if you're on a more of a budget, get the regular Barina T5s. You'll be fine. I think they're 12 for about $78, $9, something in that range. They're great, fantastic. So obviously, if you have any other questions beyond what we just spit out, then please feel free to ask again down in the comments there. But hopefully, it'll get you started at least.
For sure.
And then seeds from Greener Harvest Seeds for sure.
Yes.
Can't get them from him. Try and get them from Moms or True Leaf or any of those guys, but go to Josh first all the time.
And if you guys want, we got today and tomorrow left on that discount for $10 off of $50 at Greener Harvest. And you just have to use it's Thumbcast, right, Jess?
Yes. Thumbcast, one word. I will paste
One
that
word. I
into
think
the
it's all
comments.
capitalized, but Thumbcast, and that's going to give you $10 off a $50 order. So that's 20% off your order. Great deal that Josh has given us for that. So 2 more days left.
Yep.
All right.
John, is that a question?
He's
No
out.
way.
Impossible. I guarantee.
I like the next
There's going
comment.
to be another one.
For now.
For now, there we are.
All right. Here's the qualifier.
So we're going to go outside and pigs are going to be flying and the hell's freezing over as we speak.
And John, please ask questions away. So don't think we're anything.
John Claus says the Barina lights have been working well. 1 T8 per shelf.
Yep.
Yep.
Even growth,
Yeah,
even though you might think the middle would grow higher. Perfect.
Yeah, as long as your shelves are far enough apart. If they're too close, then you will see that little triangle teepee where they're all trying to grow in to get to that light. But if you got them far enough apart, you'd be good. And
I put the link in the chat for Joe's video at N-bar-S Microgreens, I think 1. If you could check that out, he's done 2-part series on lights and very, very technical on lights, but it's a very good watch and you'll understand lighting so much more. I do now. So.
Oh yeah. And if you're growing a Coco Coir, he's got a lot of great videos on that as well. So get out there and watch his stuff.
Yep.
For sure.
Joe's a very knowledgeable guy. Even though we ride him all the time about using Coco Coir, he still does. He still does very, very good videos.
Coco Coir earlier, nothing before you were here, Joe. We didn't say anything bad about Coco Coir at all.
Thomas asks, quick question. After dropping off samples at restaurants, what is the best way to follow up and ask if they want to order? Drop off more samples in person and ask? Call? Wait time?
I would go in at least every 2 weeks. I would not bring samples every time, at least not after the first 2 weeks. If they haven't got back a hold of you at that point, go back in 2 weeks. Just bring another sheet because they may have lost this price sheet. So bring in a price sheet. And then follow up every 2 weeks until you get the order. And about every 6 weeks or so, maybe bring some more samples of something different than what you sampled before. Andy,
Yeah, and ideally, if you can, try and leave with the chef's contact information.
yes.
On your first visit, if you walk out with their cell phone, just say, hey, do you mind if I get your cell? I'll text you in a couple days and see how things went. And then at least at that point, you've got their contact info. And then it's not really a phone call necessarily, but you can just shoot them a text, say, hey, chef, give them a couple days, obviously, let them play around with it, let them fall in love with them. And then, so typically what I'll try and do is drop off towards the end of the week, give them the weekend, and then I'll follow up on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday and just say, hey, chef, just wanted to see how things went, what you guys liked, what you're interested in, what can we get started with, kind of go from there. And just, I'm a lot more of a kind of light approach kind of guy, and it seems to work pretty well for dealing with chefs where, we don't go too crazy. And I know Joe loves to walk in the back door places, and that's awesome. I haven't gotten to that point yet where I'm, brave enough to do that, ironically, but I know it works really well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, all the ones that we've had, it's, we usually try and walk out with their contact info, and then we can follow up with them after the fact. But for the most part, I mean, honestly, I've never had to go back to a restaurant. Usually we go in one time, we talk to them, and then we follow up, and then an order is placed within a couple days typically. So it's very rare that we've had to actually go back to a restaurant handling it that way. Not saying that's going to be the case for everybody, but that's kind of our approach, and it's worked really well for us.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll have the chef a few days later call up and say, hey, can I get some Swiss chard? No, you can't. I got to grow that for you. I told you that some of these crops take up to 2 to 3 weeks to grow. So, and that's one of them.
Yep.
So yeah, I can start growing it for you, but I can't get it to you tomorrow. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And you'll say that in your speech when you go in and talk to them, but they don't listen. So you have to reiterate that to chefs and then let them know again. And then they finally understand and everything else. And you make it a beneficial thing to them. Like, hey, I'm growing this fresh for you. I just don't have stuff sitting around. I make high quality products. I grow it just for you. So it's going to take me a couple of weeks.
For sure.
I had a caterer call me last Sunday, a week ago, and left a voicemail on the system. And he's like, hi, I'm blah, blah, blah from blah, blah, blah catering. And I need a bunch of stuff for an event we have tomorrow. And I'm like, that's funny.
That's funny, man. You're hilarious.
Yeah.
Let me
So
see
needless to say, that didn't happen. Yeah. Like, sure, let me plant some stuff today and have it all ready to go tomorrow just for you.
So magically grow in one day.
It would be nice. Make it figure out a way.
Yes. Let's see. Mario says, first amaranth on the shelf. Currently giving a little more than a cup of water. So far, so good. Wondering if it isn't enough.
It doesn't like water.
Yeah, that actually might be a little too much. Yeah, it depends on what your grow medium is. I mean, if you have something that doesn't retain water very much, then it's probably okay. But if you've got like a straight Coco Coir or a peat or a Coco Loco or something like that, you're not going to need that much every day. I mean, just be careful with it. And one thing I would recommend, having grown bazillion stupid trays of this stuff, is just don't, when you're adding water to the bottom of the tray, try not to actually get any water. I know it's going to sound bizarre, but when you pick up that bottom tray, try not to get any water on the bottom of that tray, because the roots, they hate getting wet. I know it sounds insane, but like if you're spraying water directly in there and it's hitting the root system, they will dampen off a lot faster than you think. So that one we typically either aimed way down with the sprayer, or we actually put the sprayer on soaker mode, so that way it just kind of falls in. And that's how we kind of keep ours alive as best as we can. They still hate it. Doesn't matter what you do. They just don't like being alive. So especially when you're growing as many trays as we are. Yeah. You're growing as many trays as we are, and you have as many employees who water at different rates than we do. It makes it very challenging, but
they do not work. Arugula, amaranths, crops like that, cilantro do not like getting their feet wet. You don't want to get their feet wet.
Yeah.
And beets as well. That's just why the deep tray works great, because you got the soil and it just soaks up what they need, and they don't get wet feet, is the way I describe it.
Yeah, because a lot of dampening off will happen as a result of roots getting wet with cold water. I know it sounds weird, but that's definitely one of the biggest reasons it happens.
Well, they're not used to getting cold water. That's not what they're, the rain's not cold as we are out of the hose.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Joe says,
and even if it rains cold water, by the time it gets down to the root system, it's not going to be cold anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jess.
Oh, you're good. I thought we were done. I hope to get my fertilizer injector set up this week, and I will drop that video shortly after. Is that going to be the AgroThrive
I
injector?
think so. We're ordering one of them as well.
Hey.
So
Nice.
we don't have to constantly decide how much water is in there and the mix and stuff and everything else. So it's $35. It's well worth the money.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. And there's the discount code again. If you guys want that, we appreciate the support. If you use our code, and let Josh know that you're watching the Thumbcast. We're trying to get him to be a sponsor. So if we can get Josh to be the sponsor of this, we would appreciate that. So if you guys can click that link at least and go over there, so it'd be beneficial to us.
Yep, that's the one that goes directly in the hose.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That looks
Nice.
amazing. Can't wait to get it.
Definitely. Thomas says that's the key. I forgot to ask their contact numbers. I will have to go back and keep a list. Perfect.
Yeah, most of them won't care. I mean, they really honestly won't. They'll give you your cell phone or whatever, and I try and avoid calling them unless I absolutely feel like I have to. I just text them, and 9 times out of 10, we get the job done. And it makes it easier too, because if they're texting you what they want or what they want to change to, then at least you've got documentation of it just in case. Because if you're in the middle of I know you were washing trays not long ago. Let's say you're in the middle of washing trays, and you answer the phone, and you're talking on the phone, and you're doing your thing, and then he says, "Yeah, I want to get this and this and this and this and this," and you think you're going to remember it all, and then by the time you get done off the phone and get done washing trays, and you're like, "Oh crap, what did he get? Was it a half a pound of that or 4 ounces of that?" Or whatever. So it's just easier to get through text than they literally told you exactly what they want. So that's the one benefit. Plus, it's a little bit of a more mild connection type, if you will.
Yeah.
Because they can reply whenever they have time.
At 10 p.m. usually.
Yeah. Yep. It's usually very late or very early.
Yes. All right. John Claus. So if a customer wants a 3-week crop mixed with a 10-day crop, if you offer, they're waiting 3 weeks for their first order. Then you replant the next order a week later, so everything comes out together. All right. So crop cycles, guys.
Crop cycles. If you
John, you're using FarmFlow.
If you use a system like FarmFlow, you won't have to worry about this. You just put the order in, and it's going to tell you when you need to plant that crop. So when you're getting into this, and this is one thing I commend Seedleaf, like this helped us grow our business because we could put it in how many days it takes to grow, and it's just going to tell us, hey, you need to grow this on this day to have it ready for this harvest. And FarmFlow does that on steroids now. So, and everything else it does. So definitely get into FarmFlow and use that system. It's going to tell you that. But basically, yes, you're planting every week. That 3-week crop, you're planting it every week. So that way you have it every week. After that, you're just doing every week. You don't even have to think about it. And FarmFlow will make sure you don't have to think about it.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you add it as an actual product mix in FarmFlow, it'll basically, you have this overall mix that will contain 3 or 4 things, whatever. It looks like you have 2 at least in this one. It'll automatically do those calculations. So it says, I need it on this date. So 3 weeks prior to that date, it's going to tell you to plant that 3-week stuff. And then 10 days prior to that date, it's going to tell you to plant that 10-day stuff. And it'll all line up for that actual product mix to happen at the end. So yeah, as long as you get it in there, which I know you've already got an account in there, John. Obviously you can reach out to me. We've got email and everything else. I know you're not on social media, but yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any questions, trying to get that set up, and I can give you a hand.
Perfect. He says, gotcha. All right.
Nice hat.
Christina asks, how do you measure the amount of seeds to use per tray?
Trial and error.
I think we mean by by weight, not volume. So don't use a spoon and guess. It is weight. Use a very sensitive scale. If
you watch the videos on our channel here, we got a lot of how to grows. It's going to give you a baseline of how many seeds to use. Make sure you weigh them. Any other videos that we don't currently have, which we're working on more, you can get into FarmFlow, and they're attached to all the seed lots and stuff like that Andy's got in there. So you can watch the videos directly off of there. He's been nice enough to link everything on there. So it's really easy for you if you got a question about a certain seed and how you're going to plant it. Boom, he has a video that's attached to it, so you can get that. So so if you're in FarmFlow, just go on the left-hand menu, you'll go to the Explore section, and that will actually take you to that list that he's talking about. I mean, for the most part, like any smaller seed, you're going to be like real small seed. You're going to use very little, probably less than 10 grams. Any like brassica, like a broccoli, a cabbage, kale, kohlrabi, you're going to be around 20 grams. And then bigger things than that, it can vary greatly. Like peas, you're 250 to 300 grams. Sunflower, you're about 100 to 150, depending, somewhere in that range. But yeah, at least it'll give you some ideas to start with and play with.
And then we just measure ours out. You have to weigh it. I mean, if you're not weighing your seed, you're never going to get consistent results ever, so definitely make sure you're weighing your seed. And like Jeff said, get a really sensitive scale. They do make those. That way you can weigh down to really small, tiny increments and be good to go.
I know there's videos out on YouTube. I won't mention the person's name, and he just grabs seeds out and sprinkles them on the trays.
Yeah, there's a few.
Yes. Yeah. Don't listen to everything on YouTube. Listen to our channel.
Yeah, please don't.
And if you had Joe's channel, people are doing things right. So
John Claus says, I saw a video today. Grower was measuring seed by tablespoons. Oh boy.
Yep. Could be that same guy, actually.
No, we've seen one shake it directly out of the bag too. That was rough.
Oh my.
Yeah.
It's like anxiety.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's rough.
Yeah, definitely measure your seed. If you want to know exactly how much you're going to get week after week, you've got to measure your seed.
And you got to know your cost. I mean, if you don't know how many seeds you're putting in there, you don't know your cost. You don't know how much profitability you're going to have. And it's so drives me nuts that they don't do that. So yeah, you got to know your cost too in this. If you're running a business, you need to know your cost. 100%. And FarmFlow figures all that out for you now too.
Yes, it does.
Mario.
Speaking of.
I have to admit, I haven't used my old Google Sheet in a few days now. Trust has been built.
I'm with you, Mario.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm all in on it.
And Mario, I've said it 100 times in all these podcasts. Mario was a absolute godsend as a tester. I mean, the guy, he's a coder, so he knows the systems, he knows how things work, he knows how to break things, and he was just incredible at helping out. So, I had to make a lot of changes based on what he had made suggestions for, which was good. I mean, that's the whole point. I wanted you guys in there testing the crap out of it to make sure it was perfect. So if he trusts it, then you guys should too, because I'm using it also. And if it doesn't work for me, then I'm screwed. So
me too.
I have to make sure it works 100%. Yeah. So, I mean, I have a lot of people's businesses sitting on the line to make sure this works. So it's going to. That's the goal.
All right.
Yeah, you can trust it. We've been trusting it for 3.5 years without issue. So.
All right. So guys, after 5 o'clock, did we want to go ahead and look at doing the spinning of the wheel?
Yeah, we can do the spinning of the wheel. Make sure you put in hashtag Thumbcast. You can see it in the chat from everybody else if you haven't been on there. And make sure you guys like this video for us. We appreciate it. Hopefully it gets to more people in the replay since it wasn't out there. But it says we have 16 viewers and we only have 10 likes on this video. So it should be 16 likes, right? 16 for 16.
Yeah, come on, man.
We really appreciate it.
Literally a 2-person consultation for an hour.
You're not going to find this anywhere else.
Get some likes, get some hashtag Thumbcasts in there.
Yes. We appreciate it highly. Smash that like button. Yeah, smoosh it. Smoosh it. We have 13 now, so keep it going, guys. Keep going up on that. We appreciate it. We have 18 of you in here now, so 17. So make sure you hit that like button.
Obviously, guys, we're fighting against the YouTube algorithm to try and get these videos out there. So the likes and the comments, everything helps significantly. So we appreciate it.
For sure. Awesome. The more you guys comment, if you guys want to have a side chat on there, I do not care because that helps get it out there too. The more chats gets it out there, the likes get it out there, the shares get it out there. YouTube's only going to send it out to, the people that they think are going to need to do that. If you guys aren't liking it, they don't think you like the video, so they're not going to get it out there.
Yep.
So thank you guys for liking the video. I appreciate it. We're up to 17, 18 now. So thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Definitely get the hashtag Thumbcast in there. I'm only seeing 9 entries, guys.
9 entries.
The odds are really in your favor right now.
There's 16 on here still, so a little farmful.
Your gout too. I don't think Andy's a snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It would be cool if it did.
Yes. Hey, there's Pat Dell in here, one of our new members.
Yes.
So,
hey, Pat Dell.
And just upgraded also to growing the other day. So thank you, Pat.
Nice.
Right.
Here they all come in. We're getting them now.
Yeah, we're up to 12.
Now we're getting the Thumbcast.
We're getting there.
Get in, guys. It's free stuff. Could win a session with Mike. Could win a session with me. Could win a whole variety of cool spreadsheets and stuff that Mike's put together over the years.
You could win a month of our bi-weekly or a month of our coaching calls that we do every Tuesday through our course, which that course is only $47, guys, where you get me and Jess on there answering your questions every week that goes on in your business. If you go to my Instagram, there's actually a 20% code on there right now on my Instagram for that
Nice.
course. So it's even cheaper. I mean, it's almost $10 off there. So you can get it for around $38 for your first month. So that's a steal. You're not going to find that anywhere else. I want to make things cheap as I can. You know, we still got to be paid a little bit for our time, but as cheap as we can to make sure you guys get out there and do things right. And this industry grows as it's going to grow. And I want you guys to be the successful ones in this business. So that's why we do this. So.
Yep.
All right. Thomas says, I will be buying a couple caching sessions after Christmas from both of you. Coaching sessions. I was like, caching sessions. I don't think we give away cash.
Yeah, I mean,
Never
I'll
give
enjoy
away
a caching session.
We appreciate that, Thomas.
Yeah, that's awesome. Look forward to it.
And on my Instagram, we'll be doing some small business Saturday stuff. We'll be doing some Black Friday stuff on there, everything else. So we're going to be really over there on that Instagram. So make sure you check that out. That's where all of our little special stuff is going to be. Behind the scenes, planting, you know, all that stuff. So totally different than what's on here. You're not going to see everything on there that's here. It's going to be a different thing. So than anywhere else.
Yep.
All right.
What are we up to, Jess?
We are up to.
We got 19 likes. So hopefully we got 19 Thumbcast entries.
Oddly enough, we have 13.
All right. Well, it looks like it's
Free
stabilized.
stuff, man.
Somebody's going to win. You can't win if you don't put it in there. So. All right. Well, let's.
How is coaching availability for both of you, if I may ask?
Got pretty decent open ability. I think Andy probably has more availability than what I do.
Yeah.
Still
Wednesday's our hardest day. Wednesday's our hardest day. I can make almost every other day work pretty easily, thankfully.
Matthew put the wrong thing in there. Matthew, you need to put Thumbcast.
Hashtag thumbnail.
My hardest day is Monday. Really, is it, and then Tuesday and Wednesday during the day because I'm out doing deliveries. So Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, afternoons, got a lot of open availability. Thursday, Friday. I think we got some on Saturday even. So, yeah.
Yeah.
No toenails, John.
No toenails.
No toenails.
You.
Nobody wants toenail. Nobody wants a toenail.
Yeah, make sure it says Thumbcast. Like in.
Yep, you did thumbnail a second time there, Matthew.
All right, yeah, Matthew, Thumbcast. What's right up here on the screen right here? That's what you need to put, exactly that. It can be uppercase or lowercase. Yeah, there we go. All right. I think
now you watch, he's going to win now.
You think so?
All right.
Is that your bet?
Yeah, Matthew's my bet. Matthew's my guest this week.
So if you are new here, you'll find that Andy likes to bet to see who will win the Thumbcast drawing. So his bet is Matthew Barrett. Let's see. Ready?
So remember, I helped that one person one week and they got it correct and then they ended up winning. So we'll see if it happens twice.
Hey, and before you hit the spin thing,
yeah.
There was a few weeks ago we had Josh from Greener Harvest on, and we had 3 winners. Only one person sent the information to me at Mike at Microgreen Business Coaching. So 2 of you don't have seeds that you won, and I don't remember who you are. I'll have to look back. If you do email me, I will look back and make sure. So just don't randomly email me saying you won. But Josh has got it all written down as well. But there's 2 of you never emailed, so make sure you do that. So, and there's Andy's list there where you can find him. Jess can probably put a link for where you can find our coaching program and everything else too. So, John, you were the only one that
ignore the part where it says opens at a new tab.
That is so why is it doing that? Okay. All right. I don't know why that's doing that. So we're gonna
don't put that part.
Yeah. Like when I paste it over from there, it says that. That is okay.
That's so strange. There we go.
YouTube is not our friend today.
YouTube is not my friend today.
Office choice said it's really punking you.
It's really, like, I think there's
is Ashton Kuster here?
Yeah, right? I should be seeing.
Yeah.
Like,
he's sitting on the other end going, let me see if I can screw up these guys. Yeah, so the like 5th or 6th link that Jess posted is the correct one if you're looking for coaching for me.
Ashton, if you are here and you're punking us, we do take donations to help our businesses out. So, hey,
you're doing a great job.
Really pushing Andy's coaching, except the fact the link will not work unless it doesn't say
Yeah, I
open
mean-
in a new tab.
Yeah, I should be going to my website right now to change it to accept coaching
Right?
opens as an end piece for it over there.
That's funny.
And then I will post Mike's link tree, which has our coaching as well as a whole bunch of other links that he has. So all of our socials. It has the link to our Instagram and things like that, like he's mentioned. So it has everything on that link tree, and it doesn't say opens in a new tab.
Woo!
Woohoo, good job.
Small victories, guys.
All right, let's go see who's going to win and what they're going to win.
Right, let's go see. Ready? We've got 14 entries.
14.
Any last second hashtag thumbcasts?
I haven't seen anything come through in a few minutes after Matthew, so I think we're good.
All right.
Yep.
Although there's 18 viewers.
Good luck, everybody.
And if you're over on Twitter or LinkedIn, make sure you come on over here to YouTube to comment.
Oh!
Andy is the man.
Okay.
What did I tell you?
Matthew, I'm glad Andy got you the right code to put in.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you definitely would not have won with hashtag thumbnail. Nice.
That's funny.
All right.
All right. Well,
I
Matthew.
think I've only been right like 2 times out of maybe 5 or 6 times, but hey, got a pretty good average.
The odds are definitely there.
There's my link tree, guys. If you want to check anything out that we're doing, our socials, all that stuff, our coaching course and everything else, just go over to that. And Matthew, if you could tell me how many times you want this wheel clicked, it's either 1 through 30. From 1 to 30. You can pick any number in between that, and Jess will click the mouse that many times. And there's a lot of things on this wheel. One-on-ones, coaching course, all that stuff. We control nothing that happens on this spin that draw. So guys, we control nothing.
Yeah.
That's
Literally randomized.
Yeah.
I think Andy's just really freakishly lucky.
yes.
Yeah,
Andy, what's the lottery numbers?
Podcast, you'll see I'm wrong.
Andy, what's the winning lottery numbers?
I'm not going to tell you that. I'm already using them.
All right, Matthew picked the lucky number 7, like
Lucky
most
number
people pick.
7. I love it.
So let's give that wheel 7 spins.
All right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can hear her pounding on that mouse over there if you guys didn't.
Yep.
Oh, that's a
you
big
might
one.
get the good one.
Yes.
Woo!
All right. That's 1
Nice.
month of our starter microgreen business coaching course. So congratulations on getting that coaching course,
Nice.
Matthew. So send me an email, Matthew at Microgreen Business Coaching, and we will get you the information over to get you set up on that. And I believe the one-on-one is on Tuesday for that as well, Jess?
It is.
Yes. So Tuesday will be the live Q&A where it's just me and Jess, and we go until you guys will get all your questions answered, usually about an hour to an hour and a half long. So Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do that every week. So for the course. So
That's a big one, Matthew. Congratulations.
yes.
And I don't look nearly as distracted during that live session, so I will actually maybe turn my camera on, maybe.
Yes.
But you will find if I had my camera on, you would see me making some awful faces because I squint when I read, and
Especially
I'm reading
today.
a lot. And today has been fun.
Yeah, she Jess does all the back end stuff for us on this podcast, so we can sit here and talk while she does all the stuff that actually does the work as we just talk. So she's invaluable to have back there. So
All about that. Looking at my skills today, it's questionable.
I don't think that was you. So.
Oh.
All right. All right.
Any other questions?
Don't think we have any
guys?
other questions that came in.
don't
We'll
think
give
so.
you a few
Yeah.
seconds here if not, but make sure you check out our coaching courses, guys. When we get a chance to be one-on-one with you or one-on-one with a group that's not a YouTube setting and everything else, we can dive deep into stuff and really go into it.
Yeah.
It is a valuable thing. I know there's a lot of people that hate consultants and doesn't like to do that and everything else, but our business wouldn't be where it's at without a consultant. Consultants speed you up, let you know what you don't know, and get
Yeah.
you what learn faster. If I know Andy's done consulting to grow his business, we've
Yep.
done it, and now we're sharing our knowledge back to you that we've gotten over the years. So it's invaluable. It's worth every penny you'll pay.
And
I mean,
most-
I literally just had a coaching course with somebody the other day, and they were in a bunch of restaurants, and they had somebody come in and undercut them, and they lost all their restaurant accounts, and they couldn't figure out what to do from there. And we gave them a multitude of possibilities beyond what they had ever even thought about before. So now they're actually like going in these completely different directions and actually being very successful. So, we can definitely, we've been there, done that on just about everything. And obviously we took the consulting classes as well from other people. It's worth it. Do it with everyone you can. I mean, honestly, everyone that you can afford, but make sure that it's people that actually know what they're doing. Don't go down the road of some of the coaching courses that are out there. If that coach doesn't have a decent sized microgreen farm, don't bother talking to them. That's what it boils down to. There's plenty of people out there that are selling coaching and they have like one, maybe two racks, and it's a complete joke. I mean, if the person you're talking to isn't putting in through at least 6 figures in gross income, then you're wasting your time talking to them as a coach, because they're not going to be able to help you get anywhere. It's not worth it at that point. So talk to people who know what they're doing. Talk to people who have been down this road. Talk to people who have been doing it for numerous years. If you found that you're passing somebody within 6 months of starting and somebody's out there doing that coaching, you're already further along than they are, then obviously they're not doing a very good job, or their business would be much bigger. So you're looking for people that are constantly out there, constantly helping in the community, and people that are just representing themselves in a good way and out there to purposely help people and not rip everybody off, essentially. So, use people who know what they're doing. It's 100% the best money you can spend for getting your business to the next level.
Yep.
And here's Joe saying, cleaning out my old grow room, found a bunch of shelf fans. Anybody want them?
Yeah.
John,
Been there.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't buy those, John. They're not worth it.
They don't even move enough air to even make it worth it. Like, even if they actually
Yeah,
work,
they do
don't
not.
move enough air. Like, they're meant to be in a computer, like right here. And my hand is 6 inches away and I don't feel anything yet. And I'm about an inch away and I'm starting to feel it. So they're not going to move enough air for your microgreens. You just need floor fans is all you need.
Yeah.
So,
and there are
it's just a waste of
that will
money.
tell you to do it. They will tell you to do it.
Or on the grow.
Yes, they will. Yeah. Unfortunately, they have probably the best,
library.
Setup to actually put together a rack, but then they add on those stupid fans. Everything else is great, but those fans definitely kill it. So, yeah, don't need the fans. Don't use them.
Joe. You could get 4 per shelf on Bootstraps automated racks.
Do not. That's one thing. Bootstrap, I will say, do not buy. Is their automatic watering grow rack system way too expensive and way too much stuff. So
there are so many bells and whistles on that thing that it's not.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not for that price. That's absolutely insane for that price.
It needs to be half that price.
Not a fan of the fans.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No fans of fans.
Yep. I've got a box of them sitting in here too for the same reason. I watched all the grows video and I thought, oh, that's got to be the right way to do it. And then I learned over time that it's not.
I have 2 because I just wanted to try them and see if they did anything because everybody was getting them. So but that was very early.
Luckily, we only did it, I think, for like our first maybe 3 or 4 racks. And then after that, we figured out it was kind of stupid.
Yeah, we did. We used to do them over the arugula just because we had a dead air spot. But they didn't even do enough to. Well, nothing keeps arugula alive, but they didn't do enough to even make a big enough of a difference. Yep, we just saved John. Look, John, you just saved enough money to pay for some coaching.
There's some coaching, pay for that Farm Flow membership.
See,
good to go. You're welcome.
All right. Any other questions tonight,
one-on-one.
guys?
Yes. Joe, I kind of consider him a little bit of a student of mine, just because we used to do a Monday, I think it was on Mondays, microgreen talk, and he was on there like every Monday studying everything we did. So he never paid for coaching, but there's a lot of valuable information on them old microgreen talks episodes and everything else that are back in the day, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, whatever they are. So you guys can always go back and watch them. They're still they're still on YouTube, and a lot of great information in there. You can see how bad I was at YouTube back then.
Not as bad as today for me.
Yeah. All right. It looks like that's all we got for today, guys. Appreciate you guys being on, and we'll see you next week, same time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Back for another full episode of the Microgreen Thumbcast. And that will be episode 21 as we got the Q&A stuff done today. So we will see you then. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Have a
Bye,
good one,
guys.
guys. Appreciate it.